Incorporating Geography. How to make geography everyone's business. Presented by me, Carla Lichtblau. Good day, everyone. Thank you for joining this professional development session. Today we'll explore how geography can be meaningfully incorporated into any subject, from maths to languages, to deepen the learner's understanding of the world and make the learning more relevant for them. So let's dive into it. Why should we integrate geography? So there are many reasons for this, such as it helps learners to see the connections between human activity and the environment. And when we integrate it into other subjects, the learning becomes more contextual for the learners. So in an interdisciplinary way and meaningful way. So why should we do it? It creates awareness of what is around us in the world. It connects people, places, and environments. It creates a global awareness for the learners. And it also allows other areas of learning to be strengthened by the context. So, the theory foundation. Okay. It supports constructivist teaching. Learners build knowledge through exploring real-world issues, not just isolated facts. Geography also offers the framework for other subjects. The integrated curriculum theory is supported. The constructivist learning, critical thinking is also encouraged. It creates a sense of inquiry and makes the learners think and want to learn more, as well as promotes that social responsibility. So the first subject we're going to look at is history. So geography and history together. They go together naturally. They can be grouped together under one banner as social sciences. So an example of this would be that learners can map ancient trade routes or migration paths in a history lesson, which forms that geography link. Another is that they can explore how physical geography shaped historical events. So to summarize this, history and geography are natural partners. So another example is when teaching early African civilizations, the learners can map river systems and trade routes to help them understand why the settlements developed in specific areas. Now let's move on to geography in languages. So geography in language, in English or other languages such as your Afrikaans or isiZulu, it builds context for comprehension and writing. Learners can write travel diaries, for example. They can describe natural features or have a debate regarding environmental ideas found in texts given to them. They can also use descriptive writing about landscapes. They can also analyze travel narratives, poets, and environmental reports. Next, we have geography in a mathematical context or in the subject of mathematics. Now, geography and mathematics work together in data handling, map reading, and graph interpretation. An example of this is that using rainfall data to calculate averages to draw comparative graphs of different rainfall patterns. Another would be to measure distances, scales, and coordinates, and using data handling in climate graphs. An example of the coordinates of the world is shown on the screen in front of me. The coordinates are the mathematical thing, but the different hemispheres are the geographical elements. Next, geography in EMS, EMS is a simplified term, but in the subject, economic management sciences. Now, learners can look at how geography influences economic activity in the world around us. An example is why certain areas or towns develop more around mines and harbors. This can be, for example, why we have a problem in Benoni, where I stay, with regards illegal miners in the mines. It can also be look at and delve into the location of industries and markets. We also have a space in Benoni called an aerotropolis, which is apparently the only one in South Africa. And there are major warehouses that are built along this, and that positively affects economic growth. Another is the natural resources and trade routes. So there's a graph on my screen that says factors affecting the activities of economic activity, social factors, environmental and economic forces. So the geography part of that would be the environmental factors, so the use of land, waste management, control over the water resources, and carbon dioxide emissions. Next, geography in life sciences, so your biology. Now, there is an overlap of ecosystems and sustainability of the environment, things that are taught in both geography and biology, but become more specialized as you move up in grades. So in life sciences, they overlap, like I said, in studying ecosystems and environmental sustainability. The learners can also collect data from local habitats or discuss how land affects biodiversity. But for primary school learners, we can look at studying biomes, climates, and recycling. Moving on to geography and life skills. Now, life skills are vital, and I know that in matric, if you fail life skills with IEB, you fail matric. That is how important life skills is. Now, the link between geography and life skills is that geography nurtures responsible citizenship. Now, learners can understand how their actions affect the environment and the society around them, which is key for life skills education, but also key for being responsible citizens and having a positive impact on the world around them. So some examples that they can learn of this is empathy, being aware of the community, sustainability, and civic engagement. So engaging in your community, doing community service, projects, etc. Now, why would we integrate geography into other subjects? So we would do this because it promotes thinking in an interdisciplinary manner. So linking all the concepts from the different subjects. Learning is also more engaging for the learners because they can see the links and they can see why they're learning things. Sometimes it's boring to just get information after information after information. They can link the ideas together and help them connect it in their minds. It's also more relevant to the world around them, which is what we were just speaking about. They can understand things more as they see things and learn things. It also helps staff to work together as well as create 21st century skills and critical thinking. Now, we do need to consider a few things or bear a few things in mind. This would be not to overload content. So stick to the curriculum, stick to the aims and what is set out. Don't give unnecessary information because it can become very overwhelming for the learners. Ensure inclusivity. So make sure that you speak about, for example, all areas of life or, for example, urban and rural areas. Don't just speak about one specific thing or become biased. Be very careful of that. Another local example is to use local examples. So things around us, things happening in your town or down the road from the school. This can help the learners to see things more relevantly. You can also then correct any misconceptions as you go, which helps keep the learners on track to the learning that they need. So integration does offer many benefits, but it's important to not overwhelm the learners. Next, we're going to look at overcoming challenges. Now, integration takes teamwork. You have to work together and you have to plan. Co-planning and using multimedia is very vital and it can make the lessons more effective and engaging. So, overcoming challenges, have technology and visuals. So have your videos, but also have your maps up on the wall as a backup. Make sure you plan together with teachers. This helps all the learners of the grade receive the same content. Also, they can maybe have backups for you if you need. Inquiry-based activities and fieldworks are useful. Take the learners out onto the field. Get them to look at things, to measure things. It helps them create the link in their minds. Start off small and integrate in themes. So don't just go straight into everything all at once. Start off on a smaller scale and then build things up slowly to create this full integrated learning. Some examples that we have in the classroom, they show us how easily geography themes can fit into our daily lessons across subjects. And while it may seem overwhelming now, the more you do this, the more you will pick up on it. So, for example, if you're a grade 5 teacher and you're teaching grade 5 EMS or Economic Management Sciences, you can teach maps of trade routes. And the trade routes actually can also fit into history if you're doing the transatlantic slave trade, and budget for resources. That's a good idea, but the trade routes and the resources connect nicely. If you're looking at a grade 6 English, you can write an article about a natural disaster that's happened. So about an earthquake or a tsunami or a cyclone. There's been lots of hurricanes in America. That's a nice topic. If we look at grade 7 science, you can measure water pH, which is a really nice and fun experiment, and you can link it to pollution maps around us. So why is that water polluted? Okay, we know it's because there's a lot of pollution in that area. And that's all. So here are my references, and I hope that you are successful in integrating geography into your other subjects, and I hope you find it as useful as I have. Thank you for listening.